Welcome to the video tutorial for the Field of Interest Grant Round. This tutorial is meant to give you a brief overview of the online application. If you have questions after viewing this tutorial, please feel free to contact the grant-making team. If you have questions about the grant program, eligibility, or would like to talk about your specific project, please feel free to contact me, Cassandra. If you would like technical assistance with the application, please contact Craig. At the top, you're going to see two separate links. The first one are for frequently asked questions that folks ask about this specific grant round. Also, you can click Complete List of All Funds Available, and this will give you a listing of all of the funds available through the Field of Interest Grant Program. You can learn about the criteria and determine whether or not you want to apply for funding through the Field of Interest Grant Round. If you determine that you would like to apply for funding, you'll need to create an account. To do so, you'll need to provide us with your name and your email and also create a password. Once you do this, we're going to email you a link to activate your account. And after you activate, you can sign in. I have a demo account that I've created that way can help you through the application. So what you'll need to do is follow these steps here. I'll go through them with you. The first task that you'll need to do is to complete the applicant profile survey. I've actually already done that, but what you'll need to do if you come here for the very first time is click Start, which will be here under Actions. You can also come back to this at any point and edit your applicant profile. We're going to ask you some specific questions about who you are, if you're an individual or organization, if you're an organization, what kind of organization you are, as well as ask for some contact information. I just want to go over two quick questions. The first question is, does your organization, or if you're applying as an individual, we'll say, do you have a grant report past due to the Humboldt Area Foundation? If you have a grant report past due, you will not be eligible for any funding through the Humboldt Area Foundation. If you have a grant report and have had an extension, you are eligible for grants because your report is then not past due. So if you do not have a grant report past due to the Humboldt Area Foundation, select No. Also here, you'll be asked, are you applying for funding to cover expenses that have or will incur before December 20th, 2014? We unfortunately cannot grant folks money for things that have already incurred. So the correct answer here is no. No, I do not have, and no, I'm not applying for grants money that will cover things that have already incurred. The next thing that I'll need to do is select View Funds or View Applications. Here what I'll need to do is select which of these funds I would like to apply for. I highly suggest reading them again and just making sure that you're eligible for these funding opportunities. You can choose to apply to multiple funds, or you can choose to apply to one fund at a time. If you would like to use the same information from one grant application for another, then just apply for one grant opportunity at a time. It will allow you to then use the same information. If you apply for multiple grants all at the same time, you'll have to re-enter the information every single time. If you have questions about this, please feel free to contact me. Because I am pretending that I'm applying for funding and would like to use the same application and narrative several times, I'm going to apply for one fund at a time. I can either apply now or add this to my application list. Here I'll have several different tasks that I need to do. To give you an example of the workflow that I described moments ago about being able to use the same parts of the application, such as my narrative, I put in test for PAWN, which is the name of the fund that I'm applying for. I can see that I've worked on this part right here. I can go back now and choose to apply to several different grant opportunities by going back to my home page, bottom of the screen, view my applications, and applying for another grant opportunity. I can see now that my project narrative already saved in here. I can also edit it and it won't affect my original application. Just to prove that, I made edits to the PON, Arcata Educational Endowment. I'm going to go back into PON. And there's my original answer. You'll need to upload several different items, or you'll need to complete several different items such as your application, project narrative, budget, and grant terms. If you're applying for other funding, you might have other tasks that are required as well. You can withdraw your application at any point if you choose not to apply for that grant fund. If you have questions about this grant or any other opportunities through the Humboldt Area Foundation, please feel free to give us a call. Our phone number is 707-442-2993. Thank you, and we look forward to receiving your application.